Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम् वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थः प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Namaste everyone. So for the warm-up, I said if we can look at the vocabulary on page 89 of book 1. So if you have page 89, that's the page with the Rama Shabda on it. And at the bottom of the page, you'll see a lot of Akaranta Punlinga Shabdaha, right? So there's different masculine words ending with akara, different pratipadikas ending with akara. So for example, you'll see acharya, ishvara, guna, etc. So all I wanted to do is something like this. So here I did a few on the board. So acharya, acharyo. Oh, so acharyo is misspelled, but acharyaha. Acharyo, acharyaha, ishvaraha, ishvaro, ishvaraha, gunaha, guno, gunaha, gramaha, gramo, gramaha, gataha, gato, gataha. So I just picked a few from the bottom. So we're just getting some more practice with ramaha, ramo, ramaha, right? So, right, this is what we were covering last time. So we started to get into, now we're into Subantam Padam, right? In Sanskrit, there's two types of words. There's two types of Padam. There's Tingantam and Subantam. Now we're in Subantam. In Subantam, there's Pratipadika. So we're looking at different Pratipadika right now. So Ramha, Ramo, Ramaha. Now, so after looking at Pratipadika, we want to look at Supratyaya. And part of Supratyaya is Vibhakti and Vachanam, right? So we're looking at Prathama Vibhakti is used to denote the karta. It's used to express the karta of a verb when in kartari prayoga. This is called kartari prathama. So let me find the page for you. This is page 76, page 76 in book 1. So 76. So we'll kind of be on these next few pages so you can flip between these pages. So Devadatta Pashyati, Devadatta sees. Also, the homework was based on this. Did anyone have any questions with the homework? You can let me know. I can answer those now. But it seems like people did pretty well with the homework. It seemed okay. There was one example, I forget exactly. It was something like the lokaha bhavanti, something like that. And I think people had trouble translating bhavanti, right? So all we have to do is lokaha, the spheres of experience, Or you need not even translate lokaha, right? So the lokas or spheres of experience, and bhavanti just means are, right? So the lokas are. Or you can say the lokas exist. That's another translation of bhavanti. Lokas exist or lokas are. So both are or exist, you can translate bhavanti as. Okay, so don't get confused. Also, jiva, some of these words you don't really need to translate because they're more cumbersome to translate. So jiva or loka, you don't really need to translate those also. Okay, now the next thing I want to look at is this. So this is on page 76 as well. The first case is not only used to express the karta in kartari prayoga, but in karmani prayoga, so note that I'm here now talking about karmani prayoga, it expresses the karma. So karmani, in karmani prayoga, the first case expresses the object. Okay, that was a really bad arrow. First case is used to express the karma object. Okay, when that's the case, it's called karmani prathama. Okay, so can you repeat after me? Karmani prathama. Karmani prathama. The other one was called what? Kartari prathama. This is karmani prathama. So prathama means first case. Karmani, this is in 7. So in the sense of karma. In the sense of karma. So the example that they give in the book, gajaha drishyante. Gaja. So first we want to look at the verb. So drishyante, which means, well, what first thing we want to look at is this kartari prayoga or karmani prayoga. Here we see a yakara and we see atmane pada suffix. So we know from those two clues that this is in karmani prayoga. When we're in karmani prayoga, then the verb, then the first case will be used to express the karma. So are seen. What is seen? The elephants are seen. Okay, so just a reminder, right? A karma is an object of a verb, right? So the example, he sees the elephants. The object of the verb sees is elephants. The elephants are seen by him. So he is the karta, he is the one who's seeing. And what does he see? He sees the elephants. So elephants are the karma. So that's just a reminder of our karaka, that karma is the object of action. Okay. This last one, Devadatta goes to the village with reference to the action of going. Devadatta is the karta and village is the karma, the object, where he goes. Okay, so here, just going back. So first case is used to express the karma in karmani prayoga. That's why we learned kartari prayoga and karmani prayoga. So if you actually, we can do some examples of this, so make it more clear. So if you go to the back of your book, page 170 of the back of your book, 170, you'll see exercise number 9, Prathama Vibhakti in Karmani Prayoga. And there you'll see this example that's on the board. It says, Ramaha Drishyate. So, first thing we always want to do is we want to find the verb, right? So the verb here is Drishyate. Then we give the information for the verb, right? Dhatuhu is drish dhatu, 1 P to C. And Tinganda padam is made up of 2 things, dhatuhu and then ting pratyaya. So ting pratyaya is lat lakaraha, present tense, karmani prayoga, because we have a yakara and atmanepada type suffix, and its third one. Prathama purushaha ekavachanam. So he, she, it sees. That's all we know so far. No, sorry, is seen. Sorry, the translation is seen. Yeah, it's karmani prayoga. So is seen. So something is seen. What is seen? That is told in the first case in karmani prayoga. What is seen is told in the, so the object is told in the first case. So here, Ramaha, Pratipadika is Rama, Akarantaha, Pullingaha, Suprataya is Prathama Vibhakti, first case, Ekavachanam, singular. Right? Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. So that's 1-1. And the Vibhakti Artha, what is the meaning of the case? We know it's karmani prathama, so first case in the sense of karma. To, we always have to say to which verb? To drishyate. So it's the object, not, it's the object of the specific verb, drishyate. So it's very important that we say to what verb. Because sometimes there will be multiple verbs and we have to know what is related to what. Okay, so this example was there. Now let's do some more in the back. So we'll do 1 or 2 in the back. Let's see. So if you have a piece of paper, you can take out a piece of paper and do it along with me. Try to make this more clear. 1 second. Okay, so there's Vedaha Patyante. This is number 2. This is not number 1 because your homework will be doing the odds. So this is number 2. Vedaha Patyante. Okay, so first we always want to look for the verb. Here I already wrote it. The Tingantam is Patyante. Dhatuhu for Patyante. Pat dhatu, 1p, to study. Now, where can I find the dhatu? There's a few places I can do this. I could look in the dhatu kosha, right? So I can look in the dhatu kosha if I don't know, but I can also look on the following pages. I can look at page 32, 34, 37, and page 39. So 32 and 34 are all the Parasmaipada. 1p is on 32. 34 has some more p's. 37 and 39 are the Atmanepada. So you can sort of cheat a little bit and make it quicker for yourself by putting a little tab on those pages and going back and forth. So you don't have to look it up every time in the Dhatu Kosha. So especially in this first exercise, a lot of them will be from the book itself. So you don't need to necessarily look them up unless you want practice, because you will need to do it eventually. But you'll see but on page 32 there. 1p to study. Ting pratyaya. Can you tell me in the chat what I should write for Ting pratyaya? And I'll start going to the next thing. Okay, great. So we're getting some answers. So, right. So keep typing if you're still typing. Lat lakaraha. So you can just write lut or lut lakaraha, but either one. Lut lakaraha. Are we in kartri or karmani? We're in karmani because we have a yakara and we have atmanepada type suffix, and it's not four. So we're in karmani prayoga. So that's like really important that we know that it's karmani prayoga. That's the main thing, right? Karmani prayoga. Prathama vibhaktihi bahuvachanam. See here, I'm writing a shortcut. You can write it out or you can just do a shortcut like this. Okay, so nice job with the answers. Now, Subantampadam, we only have two words in the sentence, so we know that the noun's going to be the other word. So I have Vedaha. Vedaha is Pratipadikam, is Veda. Akaranta, Punlinga. So I just wrote Ama, masculine. Apun, I should write Apun. Supratya is Prathama Vibhaktihi. Then Bahuvachanam. So I should write 1, 3. So 1, 3. So I can type it at the top here. Now notice how these go together. So the vachanam of the verb will match the vachanam of the first case. Okay? So they're going to match each other. The vachanam of the verb will always match the vachanam of the first case and vice versa. Vibhakti artaha, right? Because we're in karmani prayoga, it's going to be karmani prathama to patyante. Okay, so can you tell me in the chat if I know this means studied? This means Veda. No, actually, so that's enough. So the answer is, right, the translation is Vedas are studied or are read. Patyante can mean either one, are studied or read. Okay, should we do one more example or yes or no? So thumbs up if we should, or one or down if you want to skip past it. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. There's some thumbs up. So we'll do one more. So sambandha buddhyate. So this is number 4. So notice how the English translation for karmani prayoga changes a little bit. Okay, so studied. What is studied? The object of studied is Vedas. So it's not, it's the way you say it is a little bit slightly different in Kartari and Karmani Prayoga. Okay. So Tingantam Padam, here Sambandha Buddhyate. Tingantam Padam, we always want to find that first. We always want to find the verbs, catch the verb first, and then our first case. So verb, then first case. Here the verb we know is Buddhyate. Okay, so buddhyate, dhatuhu is buddh dhatu. It is 1p, 2 no. Again, this is probably on page 32. You want to check that. Okay, there's a line, there should be a line here. So not Buddha, it's Buddh. ting pratyaya, right? Lat lakara, present tense. Then you see yakara, you see the dhatu by itself, yakara and atmanepada. So you know we're in karmani prayoga. And this is pratama purusha ekavachanam, site. So translation so far is known. Is known. What is known, we don't quite know yet, right? Because we need to find out what is the karma, what is the object of the verb known. Okay, so subantam padam, pratipadika. So subantam padam, so subantam is sambandha. Pratipadikam is sambandha. That is akaranta punlinga. Supratyaya prathama vivaktihi. And then ekavachanam. That's 1-1. Okay, now in the chat, can you tell me again? I know you know this, but vivakti artaha, can you tell me in the chat? I know this is an easy question, but just want to check in. Okay, so I see some answers. So, yep, so it is, we know we're in karmani prayoga. So that means the first case is generally going to be karmani prathama. Depending on the context, but right, this is karmani prathama. So first case in the sense of karma. To which verb? Buddhyate. So the answers that we have on the chat are correct. To buddhyate. So translation. So is known, but what is known? What is the karma to buddhyate? It is sambandha. The relationship is known. The connection is known. So the relationship is known. So maybe they're talking about the relationship between the first case and the verb, whatever it is, but the relationship is known. Look at us, we're doing sentences. That's really exciting. Okay, we're doing sentences. It's not as simple as we're making it, right? Kartari karmani. Look how many details we had to learn. All this vocabulary we had to learn just to be able to do the sentence. We have to know subantam, we need to know tingantam, dhatu, ting pratyaya, lakara, prayoga, purusha, vachanam. Then we have to know subantam, pratipadikam. We have to know the ending letter. We have to know the gender. We have to know the suffix. We have to know vibhakti. We have to know vachanam. Then we have to know what the artha is. All of this information will give us this sentence. But the funny thing is, though, as we practice this, eventually you won't need to write all of this out, right? You can just translate it. But it's good to get this practice because our sentences will get longer and more complex. So you have to look at each word. Okay, we're not going to do the last one, but you know, this is not a good way of doing this. I mean, the best way is always to write it out. But if you know shush, shush is 4P, I believe, 4P, to dry. And hasta means hands. Can you tell me what this, without writing out all the information, can you translate this sentence in the chat? Can you translate this sentence in the chat? Even if other people write it before you do, you can still try it out. Yeah, this is Pennsylvania winter. My hands are very dry. Hands are dried, right? Okay, so hands are dried. That's correct. Hands are dried. Or they're dried by the towel. Okay, I'm going to new share. I'm going to go back to our other screen and we'll jump in with some more new material. Okay. Let's see where we were. Okay, so your homework for that one is exercise number 9. You'll do all the odd digits, all the odd. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. All the odd. Do as many as you can, right? These first ones are a little bit, you just have to slog through them a little bit with the smile on your face, because like this is the foundation. This first case, Kartari Prayoga, I mean Kartari Pratama and Karmani Pratama are really are crucial for the rest of the book. For the rest of our learning of Sanskrit, right? It's the foundation. This is really important. Now, jumping back to where we were, so going back to the first case. This is page 76. Page 76. So going back to page 76, you'll see, so, okay, so remember that a vibhakti can tell you a karaka meaning like karta karaka or karma karaka, but it can also convey something that's not a karaka, okay? So that's why vibhakti does not equal karaka. Vibhakti does not equal karaka because vibhakti conveys more than just what the karaka conveys. Okay, they're not the same thing because vibhakti conveys more things than just the karakas. Okay, so here, for example, first case, a non-karaka vibhakti is when you use sambodhanam, when you want to address the attention of the listener. So I want to call to someone, I'll call this sambodhanam. Okay, so for example, He Rama Mam Pahi. He Devaha Mam Pata. Okay. Now this note at the bottom is really important. So it says, even though there are only 7 vibhaktis and sambodhanam is a type of first case. Okay, so sambodhana is a type of the first case. The letter S is utilized for indicating sambodhana in this book because for some words, the singular form of sambodhana is different from the general first case. Okay, so what I'm saying is sambodhana we will convey by the letter S in this book. The reason is because the ekavachanam singular form is different from the general of first case singular. Okay. So the example below, right? Ramaha is usually our first case singular, but Sambodhana first case is Rama. It's just the Pratipadika by itself. Because there's that differentiation, we give it a special status. We give it a little S there, but technically it's still just part of first case. Okay, now this question came up before. So some books, instead of putting an S, we'll call this the 8th case. So number 8. The reason we're not using number 8 is because there are no 8 vibhaktis. There's only 7. Okay, and this is a type of the first one. So we didn't want to write number 8. So instead we're using the letter S. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so there's one question. Let me pull that up. Harprasad ji, you have a question there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we say, Hey Rama.
Mm-hmm.
Rama is the Pullinga Pratipadikam. So for a Strilinga Pratipadikam, we can say, Hey Gange.
Yeah, so why don't you pull it up? So it's page, let's see, page 109. Yeah, Hey Gange. So it's not always just the Pratipadika. It depends on the word. So yeah, so Ganga, it'd be Hey Gange.
So how do we know? So for all feminine, it goes as Gange for Gange,
Akaranta feminine.
Yeah, Gange, Male, like that?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's why we're differentiating the Sambodhana, because oftentimes it's different. And while we're learning it, we want to learn the regular first case and also Sambodhana 1-1.
Okay.
That makes sense. So yeah, Ganga will be Gange. So, and then Sarva Sarve, things like that. So you'll see, we'll see that as they come. Oops.
Okay.
It disappeared. Okay. So you see on the board right now, you'll see that Ramaha and then Hey Rame. So it says Hey. Okay, Hey means you're calling out. Oh Rama. Hey just means oh, you're calling out. But so Hey is not it's not part of the declension. We just put the Hey there just so we know that we're talking about Sambodhana, that we're calling out. But Hey is not part of the declension. Okay? So note that Hey has nothing to do with the declension. It just, so we know that we're calling out, that it's written there. So we know that we're in Sambodhana. Hey Rama, Hey Ramo, Hey Ramaha. Okay, so just the first case is different. So now we've learned Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, and Hey Rama, Hey Ramo, Hey Ramaha. Okay, so next class we'll pick up from the second case and we'll do some more. And so we're going to go through each case. Once we finish that, then we'll go to our next Pratipadika. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Let's take a 5-minute break. We'll start at 8:10 with our next class. But let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.